Hello everyone, I am Sarah Ketchum with the Newport News Police Department's Public Information Office. This is the Arrested Minds podcast, where we're having conversations about mental health. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a condition in which a person has difficulty recovering after witnessing or experiencing trauma. The condition causes vivid memories of the experience, accompanied by intense physical or emotional reactions. Left untreated, PTSD can lead to depression and anxiety disorders, substance abuse, and even suicide. With me today is Officer Renaud, who served in the U.S. Marines before joining the police department.
Hello.
Officer Renaud, what did you witness when you were in the military, and how did that affect you?
In 2013, I deployed to Afghanistan with an engineer unit. We had an event where a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device blew up a base, a Georgian base from the Georgian country. And while we were holding security for it, and Dylan followed that the next day, the Georgians in the area were pretty upset and started to retaliate on a local village and shot some innocent personnel, villagers living over there. And a little girl was struck, and I was one of the Marines who had to go quick reaction force to provide aid to the villagers, and one of them was a little girl who was shot and bled out. And that really didn't affect me then, but then as time went on, it started to affect me.
So before this, you didn't really think PTSD was a major problem, right?
No, even after that incident, I didn't really think anything about PTSD. People said they had it for what odd reasons, and I was like, man, you just get over it. But that was ignorance on my part, because maybe just it didn't affect me, especially since, like, even at that incident, people had said they had PTSD before I really knew what PTSD was.
So then what happened after you left the Marines?
After I left the Marines, I was looking for another job. I kind of felt like I was getting the symptoms of PTSD, kind of like feeling depressed. I would see other kids and kind of think back to that scenario in Afghanistan, and it would kind of like, I would just get really depressed thinking about it. Didn't want to do anything, didn't want to talk to anybody. I would just want to like cry, sit there and cry, get angry about it. I would drink. I would sit at home, just drink. Just do anything I could, just try to get off my mind, but it would not leave my mind. It would just, the vision of that little girl, her in that situation bleeding out, was just like ingrained in me. Then I'll see like my other friends who are still dealing with that, and how they were coping with it, and some of them would find help, some others would not be able to find help, leading to really bad habits and more suicide.
Was the transition itself out of the military, was that difficult for you?
It wasn't that difficult. It was difficult trying to find a job, trying to find a place I felt like I belonged. I had gotten a security job, and that didn't work out too well. Did another security job, that didn't work out too well. So I just was trying to find my place.
So then what happened?
While I was trying to find my place and I was down in dumps and all that, friends had told me about getting some help. I finally listened to them, went to the VA, the Veterans Administration, got helped, and from there I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression, and they basically kind of like told me like exactly what I had. Like I was telling them I would have like the visions, like the triggers and all like that, and they were like, you definitely have PTSD. And basically they were saying to me like, small things can trigger this. Even if like I don't see like things like that, just like if I don't see like another kid or anything, I can just think about the thoughts, and you do get depressed. You do isolate yourself, and you kind of just you just live in that moment over and over again, even though it could be years from when it happened. And then so I talked to the VA. They gave me a lot of counseling. I stayed away from medication. Don't want to do any of that bit. But they did. Counseling worked well. They gave me some pointers about hanging out with friends or trying to find friends, find healthy coping mechanism. So I slowed down a lot of my drinking. I started hanging out with friends. Found who like my close friends were. Started to exercise a lot, get into different hobbies, hiking, things like that.
So now how do you handle the PTSD, the triggers, and any other stress that you have going on in your life?
There's a couple of friends I go to. As for counselors, there was a VA. Before all the COVID stuff happened, we had a weekly meeting over in Hampton. Everybody dealt the same thing, if not worse. They had all been in the same situation. So everybody can just talk, help each other out. It's great, and it's not just for veterans. There's plenty of resources for anybody who's dealt with PTSD or any type of mental depression or anything like that.
Does it help to know that other people have gone through this as well?
It definitely helps because you kind of think you're alone. Even if like the people who've been in that same situation with you, you could talk to them, and they might not feel the same way you do about the situation. So you feel alone, and then you find out that there are many others who've been in those similar situations, and you don't really feel alone anymore.
You had mentioned before that now that you're an officer, that helps you feel that maybe that's a way of giving back. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
So now when I get a chance to help out kids, families, anything like that, I feel like I'm doing my part to make up kind of like what had happened out there. I mean, I don't blame myself anymore about what had happened, but I feel like every time I see that a kid happy or able to help out a kid, I can kind of see the kid back in Afghanistan, and it's like maybe I couldn't help her, but now I have a chance to help out this kid or this family or this person, and that really helps out a lot. It does.
What message do you have for anyone else who may be struggling with PTSD?
Don't be ashamed to ask for help. There's plenty of other people where you're at. People in law enforcement, I'm positive, has seen very similar things than most of us veterans from combat have seen. I've seen things. This is my short time as a law enforcement officer, and I know some people, it's like they want to be strong at the moment, and they think they can be strong, but don't be afraid to talk to someone. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to go get professional help. Don't be afraid to talk to others who've been in that situation. They might be able to help you out. And if someone tells you that PTSD or any other mental depression or anything like that is not real, don't listen to them. It definitely is, and they might not know or be able to talk to you about it, but somebody definitely can.